Hello, I am Sydney Coons doing a open-ended FAI with Teresa.
Hello.
So our client JJ is a client at a residential facility. We have reviewed his past school IEPs, his past ABA data, and all of his medical paperwork that was given at time of admission. Today's date is 10/20/2024. Our client is JJ. Teresa, what is your relation to the client?
A therapist.
Perfect. Put your name on here. And then my name. Perfect. Okay. And then what the client's age and date of birth?
Do you have that already?
I do. It is October 10th, 2007. He just had a birthday, so he is 15 years old. He is a male. Can you please describe JJ's language abilities?
He is nonverbal.
Does he have any utterances, short sentences, or no form of communication?
Some sounds, but no coherent, like legible words.
Perfect. Does he attend private homeschool, public school, or no school at all?
He attends a public school that's run through the residential facility that he lives at. So I think that's public, right?
Mhm.
I don't know if it's public or private, but he goes to school there.
Perfect. Does he describe his or her play skills or any preferred toys or leisure activities?
He doesn't have a lot of play skills. His play skills are pretty minimum. He really enjoys walking around outside. He enjoys people's company. He likes to have people with him. He likes physical interaction, holding hands, tickles, things like that. We've noticed he likes music a lot, Disney music, watching the videos as well. Those things. He likes food. Food is his biggest motivator. So I think food, that's probably it.
Perfect. Does he prefer anything else that you can think of?
Um, I don't think so. I think at school he enjoys a little bit doing puzzles, but he's also reinforced by food. So I think he enjoys going to school, but it's definitely the reinforcement behind it. So a little bit that, I guess.
Perfect. Is he taking any medications for his problem behavior?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't handle that part of his therapy. So I'm sure he is on medication, but I don't know what that is. I should say that actually.
Perfect. Okay. So what are his main problem behaviors and what do they look like?
His main problem behavior is going to be self-injurious behavior and physical aggression. Um, the self-injurious behavior looks like hitting his head with a closed fist or an open fist, banging his head on the ground, banging his head on walls, really doesn't matter where. The physical aggression can look like punching, hitting, headbutting. He's also been seen to like get on all fours and try to like barrel through people's legs. So that can be the physical aggression. And we've noticed that with staff as well as with peers.
Perfect. Let me just get all that written down. Perfect. In your opinion, what is the single most concerning problem behavior?
I would say I would say the self-injurious behavior because it can get pretty intense.
Perfect. And then after the most concerning, what are your next top three that you would like to address?
Um, problem as far as problem behavior, really just self-interest, the physical aggression. I think that's really it. Those are his two biggest behaviors, honestly.
Perfect.
Um, yeah.
Okay. And then so the range of intensities of the problem behavior, and then to the extent at which other people could be hurt or injured himself or others, what would you say there?
I would say most of the time it's pretty intense. If he's hitting himself with a closed fist, it's a pretty hard hit. Again, if he's hitting his head against the ground or something, it's a pretty good hit. When he's aggressing towards others, it's pretty intense as well. He punches you full force. He's pretty intense with all of his behaviors. I don't really see he doesn't really have a milder form of it. It's really just it's kind of that same intense hit every time. So
Perfect. Um, do you typically see the different types of problem behavior in bursts or clusters, or is there any type of antecedent that you typically can clearly point out to one problem behavior? So, for example, does the yelling precede the hitting? Does there a certain type of SIB that precedes the aggression? Anything like that?
the biggest thing we've noticed with him is denied access. So if he can't go into a building, if he can't, sorry, my dog is making an appearance. If he can't get access to food, those are the most common. That's denied access is the most common thing that we see come before SIB or aggression. When he's not getting access to something he wants.
Perfect.
And I would say more often than not, I would say most times it's the SIB, but I can't really pinpoint a time like something that differentiates whether he's going to physically aggress towards someone else or himself. I don't have a clear pinpoint for that, but he typically SIBs, I think, more than physical aggression.
Perfect. We pretty much answered this, but reliably, do they behaviors occur reliably during any particular activity? You said denied access to food or preferred places. So maybe when he's on his walk and you deny access, you can typically see a behavior at that point.
Yep, if we're walking and he wants to go into a building that he's unable to go in at that time, we'll see it then. If he sees somebody else with food that obviously is not his and he can't have access to that, we see behavior like that. If we try to, sometimes when we're redirecting him inside from outside, kind of denying that access to longer time outside, we see it. Yeah, those are really like the biggest points that we see it at.
Perfect. We already answered this one. This one's about triggering the behavior. You basically just gave me quite a few antecedents to that behavior. Um, does the problem behavior occur when you break his routines or interrupt his activities? Listening to what you said yes, interrupting that walk.
Yep. If you interrupt his routines, you're definitely going to see some kind of problem behavior. I also think if like lunch is at 12:30 every day, I think if you were to interrupt that and give him lunch at 2 o'clock, I think you would have a lot of problem behavior in that hour and a half too. So yeah, interrupting routines or changing things that he knows he's supposed to be doing.
Perfect. So we're going to try to determine the consequences. How do you and others respond or react to his problem behavior?
I think we try to redirect him as naturally as we can, especially when we know those antecedents. If he does start to engage in physical aggression or SIB, we give him space. We try to redirect him with other options. Um, we make sure he's safe, really. We try not to give him the thing that he's like upset about. we're really working with him to accept that denied access to things. So if he, wants somebody else's food and he's SIBing because of that, we're not going to give him, somebody else's food. So we try to really just like redirect him with something else and keep him moving.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Um, what do you or others do to calm him down once he is already engaged in the problem behavior? Is there anything specific?
Taking walks is a really good one. If he's getting upset on the unit, taking him outside for a walk, pretty reliably calms him down.
Perfect. And then we kind of already answered this, but how do you distract him from engaging in that problem behavior? You said you kind of redirect naturally and offer him an alternate activity.
Hmm. Yeah, we try to just keep him moving. He walks constantly. So for us, if he walks to a building that we know is going to be locked, we try to let him naturally be denied access to that. Rather than saying no, we kind of, instead of saying no, say, oh, we can go here instead, or let's keep going, or something like that. So we just try to redirect without really saying no, without, directly denying it.
Perfect. And then we're just going to go into these last couple of questions. What do you think he's trying to communicate with you when he's engaging in his problem behavior?
That he wants what he wants. He wants whatever you're saying no to.
Maybe a little bit of frustration that you told him no as well.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely frustration that he isn't getting what he wants, that you told him no, and just, yeah.
Perfect. And then lastly, well, a couple more, sorry. Do you think that the problem behavior is it a form of self-stimulation or no?
No.
All right. And then this has kind of already been answered, but the last question here, why do you think he's engaging in this problem behavior or just in general?
I think most oftentimes it's access to preferred items or locations, or I guess in response to denied access to those things, more so is why he's engaging in it.
Perfect. Is there anything else that you want to add about JJ that we should know?
I don't think so.
Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.